Hi everybody, I'm going to be showing you a quick tutorial on how to make really low point Catalina salad dressing. We're going to start off with this really smart way to phase out an entire cup of oil, and we're going to accomplish that. Now, what's the one reason that we use oil in most salad dressings for is the viscosity, to make it thick so that it clings to the lettuce and everything we have in the salad. Well, we don't need to use oil for that. We are going to have 1 cup of water, 2 teaspoons, have to use Rachel's little teacup, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Let me get that in there. There we go. Now it starts off white. So this is 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and 1 cup of water. Stir it in to dissolve. We have this on high heat right now. Now as this heats up and dissolves, it will become crystal clear, and when it gets to, we want to heat this to where it gets to a low boil, and then reduce the heat so that it's slightly simmering. Stir it, and after about 2 minutes it will start thickening up, and then we'll remove it from the heat, set it off to the side, and as it cools, this will thicken to the consistency of regular canola or vegetable oil. And by that I mean the viscosity, my new big word for the day, thanks Sesame Street. Where, you know, when you have oil and you tip the jar back and forth, how it's kind of thick, we're going to make water accomplish the same exact thing in our salad dressing that an entire cup of oil does, and it will be 0 points, and, well, I'm sorry, it's going to be 1 point because it's 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and it will taste great. So we're going to stir. As you can see right now, it's just starting to get to a rolling boil. That only took about 2 minutes because we're only heating up 1 cup of water. So this is what we want. We are going to let it be at this boil, reduce the heat so that it just simmers. We don't want it to bubble up and over. And we want it to stay like this for 2 minutes. So 2 minutes at this low boil, and then we are going to remove it from the heat, set it off to the side, and let it cool to close to room temperature, and then we're done with this. All right, so we have our water that is now thickened and has the viscosity of canola or vegetable oil. So the next thing we're going to do is combine all the rest of the ingredients into our food processor. You can use a blender if you have one. I don't, so I have to get one, but I am going to use my food processor. So into this, I have this all mixed up right now, but I will tell you what the ingredients are. This is a 1/2 cup of 0-point tomato sauce, a 1/2 cup of red wine vinegar, a 1/2 cup of diced onions. It could be red onions, white onions, yellow onions, but a 1/2 cup. 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire, I can never pronounce that, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of vegetable or canola oil, 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/4 cup of sweetener. I am using Swerve. You can use monk fruit, Splenda, stevia, if that's your thing. I'm using Swerve because, you know, the whole diabetes friendly, easy to digest, non-glycemic, gluten-free, and I just happen to like that stuff. And so we are putting that into our food processor. And then we are going to run it until smooth on high. So the water has cooled and thickened where now it is the viscosity of regular vegetable or canola oil. We're going to run the food processor on the lowest setting and slowly add this in the same way you would oil. And then process in for about another 1 minute and then you're all done. Alright, so it has processed to smooth in the food processor, and now pour it out, and there is our Catalina dressing. This makes about 2 1/4 cup, really low point. Now we will put this in a container, preferably a little squeeze bottle or an empty salad dressing bottle of some type, put it in the fridge, and it thickens and binds up a little bit more once you put it in the refrigerator and let it cool. And then it will definitely take on the consistency of regular thickened salad dressing once it sits in the fridge for a little bit. And there you go. So for best results, give it an hour or so in the fridge and it's delicious. And I think the first the first serving is 1.25 cup size servings. I'll put it in the details of the post. But there you go, pretty quick little simple tutorial of how to make low point Catalina salad dressing. The big game changer is using the thickened water instead of the oil.